Hey everybody, let's get started on the engineer for the food webs unit. So think about how much food our school throws out every single day. Do you know where that food goes after we throw it out? Most food from cafeterias gets sent to landfills. However, this is not always the case. In some schools or communities, food waste is actually sent to be composted, and uneaten food is even donated. So let's think about what happens when we do leave food waste or our cafeteria waste in the landfill. I am here to tell you that there are lots of problems with landfills, and we will focus on 4 specific ones. And hopefully, you guys can come up with solutions to at least one of these problems. First, when we put our food in landfills, that rotting organic matter, and organic matter is anything that's living, comes from a living thing. So when we throw out our food that comes from plants or animals, it rots. And when it rots, it makes methane. Okay. So that methane gas can be really harmful for our environment. That methane produced by that rotting organic matter left in unmanaged landfills is actually 20 times more effective than carbon dioxide at trapping heat from the sun. And that's a bad thing. That trapping of the heat from the sun is the reason our earth is warming up, and it's causing so many problems that you are all very familiar with. In addition, household cleaning supplies like bleach and ammonia left in landfills can produce toxic gases, and those gases can really impact the quality of the air in the vicinity negatively. It also creates a toxic soup of both industrial and at-home cleaning supplies, those chemicals, and they accumulate and they mix together over time. And it's not uncommon for animals to actually suffer really painful deaths that result from those chemical contaminations. Next problem. Aside from chemicals, electronic waste is also a large contributor to water quality issues near landfills. Did you know that less than 25% of electronic waste is recycled? That's really a shame. Consumer electronics contain everything from lead to cadmium, some really poisonous things. These chemicals accumulate and are washed away periodically by rain, and that can drag the rain can drag those chemicals to our water supply. And finally, landfills take up precious space on our planet Earth. And that food waste that ends up in landfills is no longer in the carbon cycle that is easily accessible to plants and animals that can use it as nutrients as a part of the food web. So I'm going to come back to that idea in a minute. Before we do, I want you to start thinking about how we can help. What are some things you may need to consider for this design challenge? In your group, you're going to come up with an idea and maybe even come up with a prototype and build a prototype for a method or a system that addresses one of these problems. But back to that thing I was talking about. When food waste goes to the landfill, it is essentially removed from the food web, right? What does this mean? Why would moving food waste to the landfill remove it from the food web? Think about that. When food waste decomposes in the soil, it creates nutrients for that soil. Lots of these nutrients are needed for organisms like plants to grow. Plants are essential in the food web since they provide energy for secondary consumers. So in the landfill, we don't have those plants growing, right? It's usually a big open space. So are plants able to get those nutrients that rotting organic matter creates in the soil? So today you're going to design a solution to reduce or eliminate cafeteria waste that goes to the landfill. I'll say that again. You're going to design a solution to reduce or eliminate cafeteria waste that goes to the landfill. And as an additional challenge, you can propose a solution for recovering the nutrients from that food web to make it available for our local food web, or that food waste. Sorry, I think I said that backwards. So think about recovering those nutrients that food waste is creating and somehow getting it back into our local food web. So here's an overview of the design process. I'm going to let you read through the steps. You're also going to find all the information you need in the handouts, all the steps. And I, of course, am here to help you. I'm here to guide you. So whenever your group needs guidance or help or has a question, please come and find me, okay? Or a student TA if we have one. So I look forward to seeing what you guys come up with. Good luck. That's all, folks.